You don't need a degree, a website, or even a business idea to begin your personal brand. All you need is a phone and the courage to show up. Because if you're in uni right now, then this is your unfair advantage. Because most people don't even get to start. Hi guys, my name is Ayan Agha. On this channel, I talk about business, AI, and content creation. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about how you as a uni student can begin your journey to start your personal brand, how you can build your personal brand and make it profitable for you in the later future. So if you guys are interested, then please keep watching and make sure you watch till the end, because I'll be sharing some very key tips that you can use to start your own personal brand. And so to begin, I just want to touch upon why it's so important to begin your personal brand. And the reason why is because we are in a very revolutionary age where using the likes of social media and even just online media in general, you can build your own personal avatar in which you can present yourself to the wider community. And just to start off this video, I just want to touch upon a very quick fact, and that is the top 1% of students aren't just getting good grades, they're building influence. Now, I don't know if you've been very active on social media right now, but lately on Instagram, I've been seeing many different creators starting their own businesses and, their own startups. And the reason why they're doing that is, of course, to make money and building the future. But the main thing what they're doing is that they're documenting their process, online with everyone watching them. And the reason why they're doing that is that because they want people to see the raw version of themselves. Again, these people on Instagram aren't very, highly expert people. They're not experts in their field. They're just either high school or college students trying to build something that is going to benefit either you or me or the wider audience. And they're literally just documenting that online. Hence, the reason why you see these types of people making this type of content is because, first of all, it's very low risk. You don't have to give away much. It's just your time and your energy. That's it. Secondly, it is a very high leverage time to build your public network, because of course, when you're in university or even high school, you don't have that many priorities. And so hence you have so much time to work on something like YouTube, content creation, starting a business. And so step one to starting your own personal brand in 2025 is, of course, analyzing what you are good at. So what you can do in this instance right now is that you can grab a pen and a paper and you can write down what you are good at, what you enjoy, your hobbies, your skill sets, even what you do in your free time. Because once you note down these things, you will initially look at yourself and say, this is what I'm good at, and this is what potentially I can make content about. Again, you do not have to be the most experienced person in this field. Like I talk about AI, I talk about content creation. That does not mean that I know everything about AI. That does not mean that I know everything about content creation. I pretty much know more than the average person. And whatever I'm sharing with you today is what many average people or many people don't even know about. So hence, you don't have to be an expert. You just have to know enough so that the people who are going to watch you or who are going to relate to your content will feel like you as the creator are the expert. A very cool example can be that since I've been talking about AI for the past couple of weeks, if you guys haven't seen those videos, then I'll make sure to have them in the description down below. So please go ahead and check them out. But since the past few weeks, I've been really talking about AI and how you can use it to your benefit. And what I've done basically is that I've made different tutorials on how you can use different AIs, such as Make.com, ChatGPT, Sora AI, and many other different AIs. And I've made these tutorials in a way that I know more than the average person. And so you as the audience, you as the viewer can actually learn from that and take benefit. Which brings me to step number 2, and that is finding out what your niche is. You have to decide now what type of topic, what type of niche you're going to stick with and talk about from those, several things that you listed down on your piece of paper. So the first step is obviously crucial, but secondly, you have to find out what is it that you're very good at and what is it that you can talk over and over again for the next couple of years and so on. So think of a Venn diagram with 3 circles. one of which says what you know, what you're good at. The second circle says what you enjoy. And the third circle says what topic will help others. And if you want, you can add a fourth, which will say how you can earn money from this, or will this earn money. And what you want to do is that you want to pick a niche, pick a topic that will be centralized in those 3 to 4 circles. And once you find out that topic or that niche, then you can start thinking about how you're going to portray or how you're going to give value to your upcoming audience. Remember, niche and topic are 2 different things. A niche is not just a topic. Remember, a niche isn't just a topic. A niche is actually a perspective that you give to the wider community, okay? So for example, if I say that I have a niche about AI and content creation, I don't just talk about that. I talk about the insides and the outsides of what goes into AI and creating content. So in this case, you don't have to just create how-to videos or, informative videos. You can create multiple videos or multiple types of content based on the whole niche. And for those of you who are thinking that I don't really want to start a niche, maybe I just want to create whatever I like, that's cool, that's fine. But if you want maximum reach, if you want a very specific audience tailored to your personality, then I recommend starting with a niche. And then later on, once you get the hang of it, once you have a bigger audience, then you can start to evolve. You could start to tap into different other niches or different other topics. So once you've decided on what niche you're going to be making content on, you have to decide on the platform. And this, I think, by far is the second most important after finding your niche, because your platform decides not what type of people actually watch or consume your content, but the feedback that you receive from those people. So if your type of content is supposed to be delivered in a videography way, so using video, then I do recommend platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, even Facebook perhaps. And of course, in a different reality, if your content is to be consumed in a written context, so Twitter posts, LinkedIn posts, even blogs, for example, newsletters, then I recommend going to, let's say, LinkedIn, Twitter, even starting your own blog as well. But from my point of view, video content always performed better than written content. And that is why, because in video, you have more engagement compared to written. So in the end, you can decide where you want to go, which platform you want to choose. But bear in mind that your audience and your competition will differ between platforms. And this is where I get into the fourth step, which is analyze your competition. Because first of all, you're not the only one who's going to be creating content on that specific niche. Unless that niche is very rare and no one knows about it, you will most likely be competing with other people who are in the same niche. And so instead of finding the differences between one another, I recommend you analyze your competition. And the way you can do that is by take 5 to 6 of the top creators in your niche, analyze their content. If it's in a video format, analyze their video. How do they make their video? How do they hook the viewers in the first 30 seconds? How do they intrigue you? How do they engage you? And then what type of topics, what type of videos have they made about in your niche? And so using your competition, you can actually copy their ideas from whatever they've made and make those same videos, but with your own speciality. I don't know about creators on LinkedIn or Twitter, but for video platforms like YouTube or Instagram, this is the most easiest way to find a competition. Literally just search up your niche and you'll find many different channels on that niche and just subscribe to them. And then you can easily analyze their content, even receive notifications of new videos that they've posted. And then basically you can copy the video topic and hence put your little spin on that video. Once again, if you're really enjoying this video, then please make sure to subscribe and like this video. And moving on to step number 6, which is finding out the right amount of times you need to post in a week. Now, for a lot of creators, this will be very, very different because most of you will be doing this part-time. Some of you might be doing this full-time. And my recommendation is, if you're someone on the video platform who's creating content through video, I basically recommend posting starting out once a week if you're on YouTube. If you're posting short form content, then make sure you're posting at least 3 to 4 times a week so that you get into the rhythm of making sure that you're posting regularly. And then once you feel like you can actually give more output on your platform, then you can start to ramp up to 2 long form videos a week, even 5 reels, 6 reels, even 7 reels once every day. But to start out, if you're doing long form videos, once a week is fine just to get started. And if you're doing short form videos, then make sure you're starting out with 4 shorts a week. For my written creators who are on LinkedIn or Twitter or even starting their own blog posts, it is much more easier to do that compared to making videos. So what I recommend is that if you are someone on these written platforms, then I recommend doing, posting content every single day, just because written content has less reach. So if you are able to create content every single day on these written platforms, especially if you're a blogger and you're writing blog posts, then I do recommend once a day so that the algorithm and the Google search can recommend your posts to other people. The easiest way to not break this habit of posting consistently is to create a simple content system. And what I mean by it is that don't create content every single day. Try batch uploading, batch scheduling your content so that it is much more easier to plan ahead. Basically meaning that you plan one day, film or write whatever your content is on the second day, and then post the third day. And just repeat that. So if I take my example, I basically plan all my content on one day for the whole month. The next day, I film that content. And the third day, I edit. And then the fourth day, I upload that content onto YouTube or Instagram. That is how I batch film, batch create my content. And it's the best way to not feel burnt out when you're starting out, because of course, content creation is a very hectic process and it can feel very tiring. But if you do not want to burn out in the first few weeks, then this content system is the best way to go. If you want to up the intensity a little bit more, then you can definitely use AI to create content and give you content ideas. Because let's be real, if you're not using AI today, then you are at a major loss. If you guys want to know how you can use AI to make more content, then make sure you watch this playlist, because this playlist will have everything that you need to create more content using AI. And the last point that I want to touch upon in step number 5 is that your first 50 to 100 posts will not be perfect. And that is definitely okay, because you're not aiming for perfection, you're aiming for consistency. If you're someone who is a huge perfectionist, then I'm sorry, but you will have to get rid of that identity so that you can continue with content creation. Because not everyone is perfect, no one is perfect, in fact, and no one produces perfect content. There will always be flaws in someone's piece of content, whether it's video, whether it's a blog post, whether it's a LinkedIn post, whatever it is. So make sure when you're starting out, analyze your situation and make sure that you're improving your content every single day by 1% even if it's the most tiniest thing, like a change in the title or adding, creating a better thumbnail, then do that, because improving by 1% every single day will help you reach that greater milestone of having a bigger audience. And lastly, just to end this video off, I'm going to share a final message with you guys, and that is, you do not need permission to start. Anyone can start their personal brand. As a university student like I am right now, I am also juggling this with my university work. But because I have made these systems which help me create content very easily, I do not feel burnt out, and I'm able to be consistently showing up on these platforms and giving my audience the information that I have. So start your personal brand today, document publicly, and make sure that you're consistent and you enjoy the process, because that's the biggest thing, enjoying the process. Again, if you guys really enjoyed this video, then make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video. And make sure you watch this video as well, because I really enjoyed going to Wellington, and I'll share why I actually went to Wellington in the first place.